AM 560. The Answer.
Riders on the storm.
They'd probably put on electric monitoring anyway. The more you learn about this system run by Democrat frauds and ropes, more disgusting it is, isn't it, Squirrel? This is Illinois' very own part of the short in the pants Irish Mafia.
The electronic monitoring statute now allows 2 free-to-roam days. So what that means is you're not being monitored during your 2 free-to-roam days. Actually, what the statute says is a minimum of 2 free-to-roam days. So, and normally, if it was still how it was originally for nonviolent people, it wouldn't be a problem. But what has happened is we now have 87 people charged with murder or attempt murder on electronic monitoring.
So then you were wrong. You were wrong, and the Democrat judges are either in on it or too stupid to know that 87 people would be murdered from their very decision that they made, even when their name is not Anthony. Fracking idiots.
We have 181 sexual assault defendants on electronic monitoring. So currently, there's 3,200 people on electronic monitoring. The Chief Judge's Office just gave us a stat of 10 to 12%, so over 300 people are AWOL. They have no idea where they are. Well, not a big deal if it's a retail theft. It's a very big deal if that person is a murderer.
Of course.
It's not a big deal if it's retail theft, huh? That's how you could tell they never worked an honest day in their life. You ever run anything? What's it like to sell something where the margin is 6%, 10%, 12%, 50%, and have a bunch of ghetto snipe come in and steal from you? And then they're back out on the street. Or even if you catch them, they get 2 roam days. Ooh, what do you think they do on the roam days? Well, they murder, they rape, and they rob. And you know why, Squirrel? They're not taught any better. You could blame their parents. You could blame all kinds of things. But where does it really stem from? Where does this really stem from? Arrogance, ignorance, entitlement, and the idea and the pretending that they're being taught something.
One big inflection point came in '79 with the creation of this giant federal bureaucracy, the Department of Education. And coincidentally, within the immediate aftermath of that, we begin to see a decline in educational standards that have gone down since then. And now we're turning out high school graduates that can barely read, can't do basic math, can't, balance a checkbook. I mean, it's pathetic.
That was Professor Carlson, and after he said that,
one big inflection point came in '79 with
crazy. He must be a racist. He must be a bigot. Fast forward to reality. A non-blue-eyed white devil, a non-Caucasoid, happens to be a teacher with a conscience.
I literally broke down in the middle of class because I'm teaching seniors. These kids are leaving high school and going to college, hopefully, after they finish. We had 2 paragraphs to read, 1 sentence, complete to write. I gave them the sentence stems. I basically completed the sentence for them in the model. These are 17 and 18-year-old kids, and they couldn't fill in 4 words. 4 words.
His name is Williams. And I don't know what happened to education, but there's no crying in miseducation. The reality is citizens pay huge money. Well, the good news is, we've got Republicans in these states. We do. I'm pretty sure we do. So obviously they're running against this, right? Obviously they're running vehemently and they're articulating the argument, aren't they?
We are an agricultural state, and I intend on being a spokesperson for us here in this room for agriculture, because agriculture is the pillar of this state, the economy, this nation. And Chicago itself relies heavily on agriculture. So being that messenger, but really most importantly, putting a cap on property taxes. There's no reason why we can't put a 1% cap on our property taxes and stop this. The money's there, friends. You know it, and I know it. It's there.
Riveting, dummy. Oh,